Grassy Grove Reflection or Mirror Background Technique. Cut a stencil out of a scrap cardstock using the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and Grove die. I use the top part of the stencil to create my sunrise. Determine the center of the cardstock. The top half will be the sky and landscape, and the bottom half will be the water and reflection. Stamp the deer, then cover with a Post-it note mask. For the sunrise, lay the stencil on the basic white card front. Using a blending brush, sponge dauber or sponge, add balmy blue ink. Move the stencil and add bumblebee ink. Move the stencil again and add calypso coral ink. Move the stencil one more time and add old olive ink. You'll be adding all these colors over the deer mask. Using a straight edge of a piece of cardstock, add a line of old olive ink separating the land from the water. Remove the deer mask. Stamp the flowers and grass from Grassy Grove using evergreen ink along the old olive line. Stamp the pine trees using evening evergreen ink into the flowers and the grass. Use the stencil to add pool party ink below the landscape to create the water. To create the reflection of the deer, stamp the image onto a silicone craft mat using the Stamparatus. You may want to ink and stamp twice to get a good inked image. I only stamped it once using crumb cake ink because I didn't want the deer to be too dark. Remove the silicone craft mat, turn it upside down, and line it up with the stamped deer in the landscape. Stamp the image in the water using your fingertips to transfer the ink. To create the reflection of the trees, ink the stamp, turn it upside down, and stamp in the water, lining up the trunks. To create the reflection for the flowers and grass, ink the stamp, turn it upside down, stamp off, then stamp along the water's edge. Repeat to fill in the area. I blended Pacific Point ink to the top of the sky and the bottom of the water to complete. Attach card front to evening evergreen card base and done. The possibilities are endless.